made it through another year dealing with COVID, and that has implications for the food and beverage industry. In 2021, we were hopeful vaccines would lift us out of the pandemic and life would return to normal. But breakthrough infections, slowing vaccination rates, and new variants impacted what many hoped would be a quick exit from COVID restrictions. On the other hand, many consumers are commuting again and going back to workplaces either part or full-time, which will change their needs during mealtimes. For 2022, we expect the following overarching behaviors to take focus: greater demands for convenience, controlling food costs, and continued restaurant recovery. Let's start with greater demands for convenience. During much of 2020 and into 2021, consumers who worked from home were able to take a casual approach to breakfast and dinner. No commuting meant there was more time in the mornings and evenings to prepare meals. And consumers increased their consumption of categories like eggs and pancakes and other more time-consuming options. But with many businesses opening their workplaces toward the end of 2021 and more planned for 2022, speed and convenience will once again take center stage on days when consumers are commuting. Our Future of Lunch report forecasts consumers' needs will shift towards fueling during the midday meal. More consumers will express needs for grab-and-go items for immediate consumption. This bodes well for snack foods since they typically have no preparation time. Similar demands should be expected at breakfast and dinner as consumers become less casual about those meals and once again need to think about incorporating commute times when planning these meals. We should not expect a full return to pre-pandemic behaviors though. Many consumers will remain working from home in 2022 or commute part of the time, which means they'll likely continue their in-home learned behaviors during the days they have no commute. Now onto controlling food costs. If inflation continues its current course, it will likely impact the choices consumers make on where and what they consume. For much of 2020 and 2021, stimulus checks and supplemental assistance programs kept consumer spending afloat. At the same time, average eater checks at restaurants are increasing, and inflation is hitting many staples at grocery stores. When the money from stimulus and assistance programs run out, consumers will take a closer look at their food and beverage spending to fit their budgets. Consumers historically cut back on restaurant trips and use more value brands at retail, and there's evidence this might be happening already. For the quarter ending September 2021, the ratio of meals sourced from home versus a restaurant remained consistent from the previous quarter at 85% retail and 15% sourced from a restaurant. However, more meals sourced from retail were consumed away from home. As consumers commute more and engage in more activities away from the home, they're still relying on items from their pantries to keep the cost of the meal lower than had they got that meal at a restaurant. Finally, the food service industry will still have headwinds, but there are two key bright spots. First, restaurant traffic will continue to recover. Restaurant traffic will recover 98% of 2019 visits by the end of 2022. Consumers will be more comfortable dining out in 2022, and their return to workplaces, schools, travel, and other out-of-the-home activities will increase the need for food service meals. Second, digital ordering is here to stay. Restaurant orders placed on a smart device or website increased by triple digits over the past 2 years and now represent about 13% of restaurant traffic. While it won't grow at the same pace it did at the height of the pandemic, digital ordering is now forecast to grow through 2022. So once again, in 2022, look for more convenience demands, a more cost-conscious consumer, and a modest restaurant recovery.